All right, good morning, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Friday. We are going to do like a 50 to 60-minute flow. Um, and I wanted to maybe play with blocks, or if you have blocks, great. Um, if you don't, you can use a couple different like household objects, like books or maybe cans. Um, and if that doesn't work for you, you don't need the blocks. It's just an opportunity to play. A lot of people might think that blocks are like use them as kind of like a hunch. Is that the word I'm looking for? No, that's not right. You know what I mean. But like as just like support, which but look at it, I guess, in a negative way, which is what I used to do. But this last like year or two, I have been loving blocks. It's taken my practice, especially my home practice, I guess, during COVID, to kind of a whole new level because it adds a lot of new like opportunities to play. It adds height. There's so many different ways you can have your block, and it just lets the floor be higher um, to your limbs, I guess. Especially me, if I since I have such lanky arms, lanky legs, it brings the floor closer to me, um, which I really appreciate. So if you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. If you do, we can use them. We can play with them. So you can just set your books, your blocks, your cans, whatever it is, at the top of your mat, and then we'll find a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged, or you can sit on your shins. I'm closing the eyes here. Allow your breath to start to sink in. Feel the weight of the body starting to melt on the earth. And what sensations are you feeling in the lower body? And specifically, the points of contact the low body has with the earth. And can you focus your awareness to those spaces? And allow the breath to sort of take over the body. Take over the mind. So let the breath guide your practice versus your thoughts or feelings, things that are spinning around in your head. Not letting those guide your body or your flow or your breath. We let the breath guide the body. We tend to take deeper, more full breaths. And we let the mind take over. Often those breaths turn into fears or anxieties. They take us out of this present moment, take us out of our breath. Really focusing your awareness on how fluid you can make your inhales and how fluid you can make your exhales. And the mind might start to creep in and allow it to creep, but don't allow it to take over. So recognize what's happening when thoughts and feelings come and go, but not allowing yourself, your soul, to give any meaning to those sensations. And using your next inhale, sweep your arms to the sky. You can flutter the eyes open. Roll the shoulders down the spine, so tucking the shoulders back into their socket. And then on your next breath out, cactus the arms. Just take a micro back bend here. Gaze to the top of the room. Squeeze the elbows towards the hips. And then you can interlace the hands behind the low back. Draw the fists down to chase your hips, broadening out the front of the body. And then release, arms to the sky. And then exhaling, elbows to hips again. And interlace the opposite way behind the hips. So opposite thumb on top. Draw the fist down, chase the hips. Release the hands. Let's roll over onto hands and knees. You can take your hands on the blocks. So just assume that hands are on the blocks or your props, unless otherwise stated. So just getting familiar with your hands on your props. Your thumb and pinky might start to wrap around the props, or however big the props are. Just getting acclimated with the palms on the block. Start to invite some natural movement into the body. So a couple sways at the hips, some circles. Getting out any little pops, pockets of tension. Circulating the blood flow. And then after your last couple rounds, we'll meet back in our table pose. Grip the fingertips as you pull, slingshot the heart forward, sink the belly, reach your tailbone back. Gaze up to the top of the room. Let's just linger in this space, offering a little bit of movement in the low body, opening up the belly. And then on your next breath out, Tuck your chin. Hug your front line of your body to the back of your body. Round the spine. Couple sways side to side, frontwards, backwards. I'm getting familiar with this feeling. So protraction of the upper back. You're puffing up the space between the shoulder blades. You're creating more space between the earth and your body. Next inhale, come forward to your cow. Exhale, round the spine. Cat. Inhale forward to your cow. Exhaling as you round, sort of sink the hips towards the heels. So we're inviting a little bit more fluid movement into the body. Inhale, lift the hips off the heels. Sink the belly, gaze up. Exhale, tuck the chin. Round the body. Child's pose. Inhaling forward. Take this with your own breath. So we're just exaggerating our cats and cows. Offering this fluidity. Warming up our shoulders. Warming up our forearms. Couple more rounds. Offering in any other little micro movements your body might need. And then we'll meet back in a tabletop. Press into your props or the earth. Let's keep the toes or the tops of the feet rooted on the earth. Lift the knees, lengthen the legs, tuck the chin round the spine so you're creating a lot of space between the earth and your core. So your upper body should be pretty round here, stretching out the tops of the feet. Holding here just for a couple more moments, starting to warm up the core. And then lower the knees down, reach the heart forward. And then take a brief moment in child's pose. Coming forward again, inhale, slingshot the heart. Exhale, press into the tops of the feet. Lift the booty to the sky. Tuck the chin round the back. Keep the left foot rooted. Let's hug the right knee to the nose. Glue the right heel to the glute. Create that massive space between the earth and the knee. Lower the right toes down. And then hug the left knee to the nose. Hug the heel to the booty. Opening up the top of the right foot. Then slowly lower the left toes down. Lower the knees. Inhale into your cow pose. Exhaling, round and sink the hips towards the heels. Inhaling forward. Cow. Exhale, press into the tops of the feet. Engage the belly, pull the belly button in and up. So you're always on the tops of the feet right now. If this doesn't feel nice, you can come to the toes. That's totally fine. Just getting into a little different variations of our poses. Press into the top of the left foot. Hug the right knee to the right tricep this time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then lengthen the right leg back. Hug the left knee to the left tricep. Keep the chin tucked. Keep squeezing. And then lengthen the left leg back. Lower the knees. Wave the body forward. Come into your cow. Exhale. Tuck the chin around the spine. Sink the hips. Child's. Inhale, come forward into your cow pose. This time, tuck the toes, press back into your downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet for a moment. A little free form, freestyle, whatever your body needs right here. I'm sure it's your first down dog of the day. You're taking this class live. So just be easy on yourself. And then finding some stillness in your down dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, draw the front side of your body to the tops of the thighs. Lift your sits bones up high, opening up the spine. Keep the shoulders plugged in. Let your body roll forward, come to your high plank. Roll onto the right hand. Roll onto the knife edge side of the right foot. Let's take a Vinyasa side plank. Left fingers can rise. And then cactus the left arm. Draw the left hand behind the ear. Press the hips up a little bit higher. Reach the right hip over to the left side of your room. Release through center. Downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees, slight bend of the elbows. Press your chest to the tops of the thighs. Lift your sits up higher. Then roll forward, high plank. Exhaling, Vinyasa left side. Reach the right fingers up. And then cactus the right arm. Draw the right hand behind the ear. Fan open the front side of the body. Lower the right hand down. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet for a moment. Lift the heels, come to the toes. Soft bend in the knees. We'll step to the top of the mat to a count of 10. As slow as you can, just tiptoeing, getting the heels up higher with every little step. For 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep hugging the hips in, tops of the thighs to the belly, creating that compression as you step forward. Let the feet fall between your hands, between your props. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and fold. Palms face up, Padahastasana. Generous bend in the knees. Toes can walk on tops of the hands. And how soft can you make this pose? Elbows bend, knees bend. Low back releases. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. This time, inhale through the nose. And let your exhale be an audible. Just releasing anything that doesn't come out with a breath. Just letting your practice spill out. Release one hand at a time. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Slowly rolling up to standing. Sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, hands through heart. Inhale, palms right. Exhale to fold. Halfway lift, hands come to the blocks or floor. Plant through the palms. Downward facing dog. Use your inhale to roll the body forward. Exhale, lower just to chaturanga. Inhale, hold. Exhale, high plank. Lower the knees. You can remove the blocks just off to the side for a moment. Lower knees, lower chest, lower chin. Pull yourself forward, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. You can add in your props again underneath the hands. Full breath in. Full breath out. Lift the right heel to the sky. Draw the right knee to the right tricep. Hold here. And then spin to the knife edge side of the left foot. Vashisthasana, try keeping the right knee lifted. Take a cactus of the right arm, creating that length across the chest. Ton of strength work here, you got this. Lower the right hand back onto the block. Hug the right knee to the right tricep once again. Then reach the toes between the hands. Maybe let the toes linger. And then lower the foot to the earth. Inhale. Slingshot the heart forward. Staying on the ball of the left foot. Couple rocks forwards and back. Just getting into the psoas. On your next breath out, reach the hips to the sky, lengthen the right leg, modified pyramid. Melt your chest over the front shin. Try to keep the right leg straight as you press into the blocks, into the earth. Plug in the leg, the right leg, into the hip socket to lift the toes off the earth. And then make your way to your three-legged dog. Bend and stack the hips. You can offer in a little bit of movement here or stillness. And then lower the right foot down. Lift the left heel to the sky. Draw the right or the left knee to the left tricep. Hold here. And then roll to the knife edge side of the right foot. Vashisthasana, try to keep the left knee lifted. Then cactus the left arm. Press the right shoulder over to the left side of the room. Look at the block, the top of the mat. Lower the left palm down. Draw the left knee to the nose. Maybe let the toes hover as you step the left foot through. Come on to fingertips. Reach your heart forward. Pull your hips back. Modified pyramid. Be soft in this pose. Let the upper body fall over the front leg. Plug the left leg into the hip socket. Lift the toes off the earth. Then lift the left heel back, three-legged dog. Bend and stack the hips. Stay still or offer movement. Downward facing dog. Use your next breath in to wave the body forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, hold. Exhaling, press up. Then shift the shoulders over the wrists. Let's lower all the way down onto the bellies. Point the toes. Reach the fingertips to the back of the room. Squeeze the shoulder blades as you lift the head. Press the pelvis into the earth. Zip the legs together. Point the toes. Spread the toes. And then reach the fingertips back. Reach from the crown of the head out through the fingertips. And then press yourself back into a child's pose for a moment. Wave your body forward, knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Full breath in. Full breath out. Let's lower to the tops of the feet, come to knees. Just letting this movement linger a little bit. You can close your eyes. Rest the hands on the tops of the legs. So just taking kind of a mini Shavasana-like moment. When we take these pauses, releasing everything, not holding on to anything, and just letting your feelings unravel. And let everything peel back a little bit and start to marinate in how you're actually feeling. Plant through the hands. Tuck the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Come to the balls of the feet, bend the knees. Exhale, step or hop your feet between the hands. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Press into the hands, shift the weight to the toes so the heels start to lift. Keep pressing into the hands. Start to draw the chest towards the tops of the thighs. Feel that compression. Feel that lift of the sits bones to the top of the room. Try to get the hips over the shoulders. Lower the heels down. Inhale, arms rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to heart. Sweep the arms up, press the hips forward, baby back bend. Exhale to melt, release. Halfway lift. Plant the palms, downward facing dog. Lift the right heel. Draw the right knee over to the left tricep. Actually, yes, that's what we want. Hold here. Shoot the leg over to the left side of the room. Maybe try keeping it floating off the ground. Pull right hip back. Reach the left hip forward. Stay on the ball of the left toes. Then draw the right knee over to the right tricep. Vashisthasana, right or left side. Right knee reaches to the top of the room. Option to lengthen the right leg or keep it bent. Cactus, the right arm. And then tap the right toes behind the left leg. Option for a wild thing here, maybe keep the right arm cactus. Gaze at the top of your mat. Start to spin the left toes forward, right hand lands. Hug the right knee to the chest. Try to straighten the leg as it starts to step forward. Create a little pause where the foot's hovering, then step it through. Inhale, reach the torso forward. Exhale, lift the hips back. Just linger in the space just a little longer here. Shift the weight into the right foot. Start to lift the left toes off the earth. Point through the left foot. Lower the left hip an inch. Lift up through the right hip. Reach through the chest. You can stay on fingertips, or hands can draw to heart. Virabhadrasana 3. And then land the hands down. Tuck the knee, the left knee to the chest. Then open up the left knee to the left side. Come to the right toes. Peel the right heel off the earth. Keep drawing the left knee over to the left shoulder, reaching it forward. Starting to lift off the right toes. It's okay if it's not there. It's not there for me. I'm just playing with this experiment. And then lower the right heel. Reach the left toes back. Keep them pointed. Land the top of the foot on the earth. Inhale to your high lunge variation. Sink a little deeper in the front leg. Release the hands to the earth. Downward facing dog. Tucking the toes. Inhale, wave the body forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to hold. Exhale, high plank. Shift forward on the toes. This time lower with control all the way down to the belly. Reach the fingertips back. Spread the toes, lift the legs. Loka Shalabhasana. Child's pose for a moment. Press your hips back. And then pull the heart forward. So you're on knees. Reach the chest to the earth. Reach the chin. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Pull out the feet. Left heel to the sky. Left knee to right tricep. And then reach the left toes over to the right side of the room. Squeeze the right hip forward, left hip draws back. You can float the left toes. Keep pulling the heart forward. And then draw the left knee to the left tricep. Vashisthasana, right side. Left knee reaches to the sky. Keep the hips open. Cactus the left arm. Option 2, lengthen the left leg. Left toes can tap behind the right leg. Release the torso into wild thing. Gaze to the left corner of your mat. Plant through the left hand, spin to the ball of the right foot. Left knee hugs to the chest. Try to hover the left foot off the earth before stepping it between the hands. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, hips pull back. Modify pyramid. Shift the weight to the left foot, so much that the right toes start to peel off the earth. Vira 3, warrior 3. Pull the right hip forward. Hands can come to heart for a moment. Just giving the hands a little break. Lower through the hands once again. Press into the fingertips, into the palms. Start to lift to the ball of the left foot. Hug the right knee to the chest. Then open the knee out to the right side. Hug the right knee to the right shoulder. So you're in a puppy press. Exploring this variation. You can always lower the left heel if it's too much. And then lengthen the right toes back. Land on the top of the right foot like we did earlier. Use the strength of your legs to lift you up. High lunge variation. Use your next exhale. Plant the hands. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet here. Roll the body forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, pause. Exhale, high plank. Again, roll forward. This time, lower all the way onto the belly. We've been here before, locust. Spread through the toes, reach through the fingers. Open through the chest. Plant the palms. Child's pose for a beat. And then reach the heart forward, pull it forward. Knees, chest, chin. Let's find those points of contact. And then lift into your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Full inhale. Audible. Exhale. Just releasing anything that doesn't serve you. You can take the hands to the blocks again if they left. Coming into some frog hops. So we'll just try to lift the hips over the shoulders. I'm super fearful of this too, so I've just been trying to incorporate this into my own practice and hoping to encourage others to explore inversions as well, just to tap into that fear and testing the body. So we'll lift the heels, bend through the knees, shift the weight to the hands, and then just let the toes lift off the earth with a little jump. Just keep jumping a couple more times, maybe about 5 more. Keep the gaze in between the hands. Keep the arms straight. 2 more. Then you'll land on the shins, tops of the feet. Let the hands rest on the tops of the thighs. And feeling the heat that's been generated throughout your body, the life force, your breath, sweat. Noticing any sensation that makes you feel alive, invigorated, human. Come to the hands. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Exhale as slow as you can. Make your way to the top of your mat. Once you arrive, halfway lift. Exhale to release. Plant into the hands, into the toes. Shift the weight forward, lift the heels. Lower the heels down. Releasing up to standing, arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, palms high. Exhale, release. Halfway lift. Plant the hands downward, facing dog. One more time. Working through this little sequence. And a couple more jumps, and then we'll cool things down. Lift the right heel to the sky. Right knee draws to the left tricep. Shoot the leg over to the left side. Stay on the ball of the left foot. Hips squared, reach the heart forward. And then cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. Press the knee back. Vashisthasana side plank. Keep the ankle crossed over the left thigh. You can sink your hips towards your left heel a little bit, pressing the left hand into the top of the mat. Cactus the right arms. We're getting deeper into our hips. Lengthen back through the left leg. Reach the right leg high. Option for another wild thing here. Pivot the feet. Lift the hips, open the heart. Right fingers come to the top of the mat. Hug the right knee to the nose. Pivot the left toes forward. Step the right foot between the hands. Inhale into your low lunge. Exhale, hips back. Puppy press. Variation. Shift the weight into the hands, into the right toes. As you start to lift the left heel, lift the right heel to the sky. So left leg is lifted. And then hug the left knee right away into the left shoulder. Open up the hip. Keep lifting as high as you can onto the right toes. And then lengthen through the left leg, lower the right heel. Point the left toes. Start to land the top of the left foot. Inhale. Arms rise, high lunge. Exhale, hands draw to heart. Last little bit here, shift the torso forward. Let's take a twist, just bringing out the spine, catch the elbow to the outside of the thigh. Release hands to blocks. Downward facing dog, tuck the toes. Second to last time here, roll forward. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, hold. Exhale on the effort, high plank. Forward again. Lower all the way to the belly. Reach the fingertips back. Spread the toes, Loka Shalabhasana. Keep the gaze only a little bit in front of you. Neck long. Press your way back. Child's pose. Come forward like a little snake. Knees, chest, chin. Find those 3 points of contact. Then draw the heart forward. Lift yourself up, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhaling. Downward facing dog. Last little side here. Lift the left heel. Left knee, right tricep. Shoot the leg over to the right side. And then cross the left ankle over the top of the right thigh. Sink the hips back a little bit. And then roll onto the knife edge side of the right foot. Vashisthasana with this little funky leg. Variation. Try pressing into the right hand to sink the hips closer to the right heel. Left arm can cactus, lengthen the right leg. Lift the left knee with control. Try to step the foot between or behind the right leg. One more little wild thing here. Release the left hand to the top of the mat. Hug the left knee to the nose, right toes point forward. Step the foot through. Reach the heart forward. Exhale, lift the hips back. As you shift the weight into the hands, into the left toes, we'll peel the left heel off the mat and then lift the right toes, lift the leg. Draw the right knee to the right shoulder, coming into your little puppy press. Prep. And then release the right leg long, point the toes. Land the left heel, land the top of the right foot. Use your breath in to lift you up, high lunge. Exhale, hands to heart. Shift the torso forward. Exhale, catch the right elbow to the left thigh. Twist the torso, ring out your system. And then release the hands to the top of the mat. Downward facing dog. Last little bit here. Roll forward. Chaturanga. Pause. High plank. Inhale forward on the toes. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Point the toes. Release the hands to hips. Locust pose one more time. How engaged can you make it? And then child's pose. Release. Pause here. I'm going to sit on the shins. Reach the palms forward. And then release the fingers to the wrists so that the backs of the wrists are pressing to the front of the room. Coming into a nice little wrist extension, wrist stretch. And then take these half circles with the fingers. A little massage. And then shake out the hands. Let's roll over onto our sits bones. Reach the legs out in front of you. Paschimottanasana. Lengthen the fingertips to the sky, reaching from the sits bones out through the low back, through the spine, through the crown of the head. Then take it fold. Hands can grab for calves, ankles, feet. And slowly releasing up. Draw the feet together, knees wide. Butterfly. Hands can wrap around the knife edge sides of the feet. And rooting down from your sits bones. And how tall can you sit? Like someone's pulling on the top of your head, creating space between every bit of vertebrae. And you can use your props if you have them. Rest them out in front of you, maybe forearm or underneath forearm. Maybe your forehead rests on top. It must feel soft, but let the body feel heavy in a way that you're not working, you're just letting the body collapse. Slowly releasing the body back upright. If you have a prop, bring it with you. And then you can lengthen the feet out in front of you. And then we'll slowly lower onto our backs, but really taking our time to get there. So let's reach the fingers out in front of us. And then really, as slow as you can, trying to get into those spaces of the body that you might not even know exist. Activating, bringing life to those areas. And once you're there, take a full body stretch. Arms and legs reach in opposite directions, like someone's pulling you from either side. Hug the knees into the chest. Shift the hips off to the right side, and then just let the legs fall over to the left. You can cactus the right arm. Knees come back to the chest. Shift the hips off to the left side. Let the legs fall over to the right. Left arm cactus. And then release the feet to the earth. Let's take a supported bridge pose. If you don't have a prop, no worries. You can just move into a bridge pose, or you can also, sometimes I like to prop up my hips, pressing into my triceps, and then having my hands underneath my low back or my hips to support that. That always feels nice too, as just a little self prop, I guess. So you press into the feet, and then lift the pelvis off the earth. You can slide a prop or your hands underneath the low back, the sacrum. Keep legs bent. If it feels okay, you can lengthen the legs. This is like my most favorite way to end a practice. If I'm ever like standing or sitting for a long period of time, I'll just like drop into this pose, and it really opens up your hip flexors, your chest. You can just let the weight of your body collapse onto your prop or your hands. Always feel free to adjust the height of the block. Lower might feel better today, maybe higher feels better. Just listening to what your body needs, not what it wants. You can stay here for the remainder of your practice or releasing into your final resting pose. And allowing yourself to close out this space that you've created. This time to slow down. And carrying that with you throughout the remainder of your day. Intuitively guiding yourself out of your practice after you've rested. And taking this time to do absolutely nothing. From my heart to yours. Namaste.